How's everybody doing with these eclipse energies? And tomorrow being a solar eclipse. So it's a good time for manifesting and releasing. Last week I tried, well, it was less than a week ago. I'm trying to think of which day it was. But I tried some breath work. It's the breathwork homeopathy. It's Ashley, Dr. Ashley. I met her through taking classes with, I'm not going to mention her name. Anyway, I had another friend that was going to do it. So I was like, okay, I'll try it. I haven't done it in a while. So it's good for really releasing. It was probably 45 minutes of straight breath work. It was like, it's two-part breath work that she has you do. And it was really interesting because it's interesting what comes up while you're doing the breath work. So my focus was obviously to release what I need to release, but I also had a situation with my mother that passed away a year ago that still has been energetically around me, who I'm trying to release. I mean, I love my mother, but the circumstances were a little different on how our relationship was, and she was one of my main handlers in my life. So she, when you have a main handler in your life, they like to control and have total say on everything you do, etc. I mean, I loved it, but this is how it was. It's the bottom line. That's how it was. So what's interesting is that I wanted to do a lot of releasing of that, and which I really did. And I actually saw her as I was doing the breath work. And I saw her and asked to release her. She wasn't too happy. And it's not the first experience I've had with her. But this one was a little different because I was releasing totally. And I think it's really important because our emotions and all our programming and all our ancestry are all stored in our cells and DNA that we need to release. Even down to partners that you've been with in the past, they still can linger and stay in your energy field, your energy system. So it's good to release anything that's not you so you can get to the core of you. And that way your energy is a lot clearer, your frequency raises higher, and you don't get held back. So I went through a lot of that, but it was really interesting. I highly recommend it. I went through a lot of physical symptoms. I had energy coming out of my hands. At one point I had to shake my hands. I went through anger. I was crying. I was working on a lot of trauma that was coming out through my legs. I really wanted to pull myself right out of it. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. But I think it's really important to release anything that's stored in the body. I think everybody knows that, to carry that is I felt a lot thinner after doing it, but didn't realize how much I had held on to. So anything that was ready to release or that I wanted to release, I just let release. And that's the important thing of what's going on, because right now it's really important for the planetary ascension to raise our frequency. And there's a lot going on. It's almost like a spiritual exorcism out there where there's people that are just they don't know what to do. They're losing it. They're got all kinds of emotions all over the place. But when it comes to us, and they're capable of doing it too if they want, it's important to clear so we can be clear, so that we can help if we are able to, if we're storing all this trauma and ancestral and all this other baggage, our past partners we've been with, or, sucky marriages, bad bad divorces, any of that stuff. It's good to release so we don't carry it forward into, as we move through all we need to do or where we're headed. So I think it was really important. So I'll put that in the description of how you can, she's on Instagram. So that's how I communicate with her. So I'll leave her name. If you're interested, you can look her up, but I highly recommend it. Oh, my arm's getting sore. So, I think that's really important, and that's what a lot of the eclipses have brought to us. It's been a whirlwind of a month. I've had sleepless nights, as I said. Anybody that's sensitive to energies, a lot of this stuff, you can feel it, and you can feel it amongst the collective. Because, we're moving a lot of darkness. So we can bring in more light. So I found it really helpful, whatever you can do to help move the energy, and not, because otherwise it's going to keep you stuck. And we don't want to stay stuck. I mean, I don't want to stay stuck myself, and I'm only sharing my experience. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not advising anybody to do anything. I'm just sharing my experience. And in order to bring more in, you got to let some go, right? So I know for me tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a lot of intentions, a lot of releasings, and and I am going to focus on, I'm pretty sure I released everything, but if there's anything else that I need to release, because there's always something to release. I mean, at the end of the day, you need to release when I know I'm around a lot of people, so service a lot of people all day long, that it's good to release any energies so you don't hold on to them and take them to bed with you, so to speak. So, so tomorrow, that's a good thing to do. Make your intentions, do your releasing, write it down. I write it down, and I'm big on rituals. So I would, I light I think I did a pink and white candle, and set the candles as, when they're burnt, and let them burn for a while afterward with the paper of the intentions and the letting go underneath the candle. That's one way. I mean, do what you're comfortable for you to do. And, and the energies are there for us to work with. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And whatever you do and whatever you do for you is right for you. And, I feel like the next few months are going to be pretty heavy duty. So as much energy as we can get up, as high as we can bring our frequency, is best. And I know that I did go into two past lives just recently, and one was it's interesting because my dad was in the Navy, and my brothers were in the service also. And I was a Navy commander in one past life where I was actually silenced. And so I wasn't allowed free speech, which we see a lot of that going on now. And they'll silence you if they don't like you talking where you're talking against the controllers. And the lifetime I went in before that I was a high priestess. So I had a lot of power in that lifetime. So I went from having, and I'm sure I don't get the sense the power is in a bad way, but it was totally different than being a Navy commander. And now I know why I have had a hard time, especially in this life, speaking up for myself or worrying what people think. Because basically I was controlled in that lifetime to not speak. As much as I wanted to speak truth of what was going on, I was pretty silenced. So I'm working on that, and it's great if you can have some recall of, once in a while you might get in a dream state or just get a feeling of, I've never had a regression done. I don't think I ever will. But some people find that helpful too. But as much as you can release, the better is what I'm basically saying. So you can raise your frequency and let go of what you need to let go of in moving forward in whatever way that is for you. So I just wanted to share that. And I thank you for listening. And I hope you have a great night. Thank you.